Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to Patreon, which is $5 a month, I think. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, we learned magic from our friend Rat, whose name is Rat. Actually, it is. Oh, I don't know. We don't know his name, but we call him Rat because he wants us to call us that. Which, yeah, it seems a very in-depth amount of magic, more than what was it? The main character Luke was saying. And hold on a sec, is this doorknob a bone? That is some cartoon stuff. Anyways, reset our face and begin. So, there you go. Everything I know about burning mana. Fun stuff, huh? Yeah, you know so much. It sounds like you've seen a lot of the world, met a lot of people. You're not an ordinary rat, are you? Heh, I don't think anyone is ordinary, kid. I express my deepest gratitude to him for teaching me what he knew. He, in turn, mocked me that most of it probably went over my head. He in turn mocked me that most of it might be a typo. Wouldn't it be but most of it went over my head? Still, he was glad at the very least he was able to finish my clothes while we talked. He wasn't wrong about me being confused. A lot of those concepts felt unclear and contradictory to me. I didn't have enough knowledge or experience to understand the implications of everything he had to tell me, or had told me. However, I never forgot a single word he shared that night, and all of that stayed with me when I was eventually ready to practice my own mana wielding in the future. Over time, the more I learned and witnessed for my own, the more his words turned from theory to premonitions. The world, it's quite a thing indeed. I want to know who his mentor was. So impatient. Done. Put them on. He grunted, pushing the fixed clothes towards me, and then, through the burned butt of a cigarette, rolled up onto the floor, letting the rodent's hold seal swallow the evidence whole. He immediately took out a fresh one and lit it up. I put the reworked clothes on, amazed how accurately he managed to fit them without a measuring tape. He nodded in approval. However, even that quickly ended, with an annoyed grunt when he couldn't sit still on a cold rock floor. Why are you bouncing so much? You hurt? No. This is just the floor. It's so cold. Oh, don't be such a bloody wuss. I'm not being a wuss. Then stand still. You want to bloody dance out? You want to bloody dance out of the castle? Ulu? Oh, bloody hell! Just gritting his incisors in frustration, he grabbed one of my feet midair to keep it still on the floor. However, the moment his fingers wrapped around it, he paused and blinked in confusion. He rubbed his fingertips against my lightish red pads, rising them to get a better view. How the hell are they so warm and soft? Oh, they moisturize them with that nice smelling cream every night, and moisturize them? Bloody hell, they really pamper you like a king. Okay, guess you weren't kidding. You really can't run away like this. Told you. Got it. Fine, put your socks back on. He pulled them out of the floor and tossed them back at me, and immediately dropped to my butt and started putting them back on my feet. Then he also took my boots out, but he did it slowly. Light clung beneath the edges, and the surface of the footwear came out tattered and dirty. The rat opened the top lid of an oil lamp, increased the flame, and started searing the leather surface, blackening it and getting rid of the finer embellishments. The burnt smell invaded my nose, but I assumed he knew what he was doing, and maybe shelter would keep all the stink in. I was just happy to have soft socks back on my beans. You can still change your mind, you know? We'll be in big trouble if they catch us. I'm willing to take that risk. They will surely kill me. It's not going to happen. Right. Why are you here anyway? What do you mean? You know why. For food. But why the castle? That's the worst place you could steal from. There's an abundance of good stuff here. Yes, and abundance of the strongest guards. Shouldn't you purloin from the folk who don't have as much security measures? Does purloin mean stealing? Heh, I like that word. Doesn't sound as bloody disgraceful as the alternative. You know, I kind of forgot you've been translating your lines from posh common to common all this time. You're good. I don't know how much context we're losing by not hearing your exact words. And yet, you were so insistent on sharing every detail of my embarrassing moment for some reason. You know, the farting and falling over on his back. I don't understand you, people. You want me to speak with my true words or not? Well, maybe next time? Next time? Yeah, for now. Finish like this. I want to make sure I understand everything. I'm not sure there's ever going to be another time. The option to hear Alan's story in posh tongue, is it would be or is unlocked here? Would be unlocked here. But sure, if you ever get another chance, I'll indulge you in my superior vocabulary. Maybe one day, possibly. But in the meantime... How eloquent, my dear fellow. You didn't answer my question. Why risk your life infiltrating a castle when you can take that from the streets? From helpless folk. Yes. From the struggling ones, just as we struggle, or like we struggle. Well, you don't need to go for really poor ones, but there must be some options between, right? Rich, but poorly guarded merchants? No such thing anymore. Not after all the previous heists. They're all alarmed and guarded. Out of all the terrible options, the castle's the best pick. I already know these corridors, and I could use today's celebrations to sneak in and out unnoticed. It was already my 4th trip when you interrupted me. 4th? That's reckless. You have a death wish? Maybe. What? You're right. Deep down, maybe I hope to be caught. He sighed, staring down at the blackened boot, and the silence lingered between us. The scent of the burnt leather grew thicker, and he moved it away, only when the black smoke started prickling at his eyes. He rubbed the burned spot with his finger, thinking. It would be a fitting end for me, here, in this castle. This is where all of it went crashing down for us. Those 20 or so years ago. Felt like a completely different lifetime now. We're so drunk on those grand ideals. We thought we could make a difference. But no. The moment you challenge those in power, you lose. You never even realize you've always been playing by the rules all along. It's all rigged, and I'm just so bloody tired of it. It do me like that. And yet, at the same time, I can't just not care. Those longings are like wounds that never heal, and I've been bleeding for so long. I don't know how to make it stop. He stared at the flame of the light as it slowly dimmed out, running out of oil. Dimmer and dimmer it went. Until finally, it died completely. This world, truly, is hell. Sorry, kid. Didn't mean to dump my tragic life story on you. Let me finish the boots, and we should go. You know, maybe it's okay. I mean, failing at the big things. Maybe in the end, they weren't as big, or important as you thought they were. Oh, they were. Well, you think that only because you're obsessed with that one failure. But you don't realize that that was only one of countless ways you could have failed. The Observer showed me a myriad of my own failures. People died. My country fell into ruin in so many terrible, unique ways. Centuries of progress turned to ash because of me. He showed me all of that, for only short instances, but I understood everything, the weight of my failures. It broke me to the core. And then he showed me his ideal future, one where everyone was happy, and I was loved and celebrated by my people. But my best friend wasn't there. I believe he didn't exist in that successful, carefully crafted future. I didn't want that, and the moment I denied the Observer, I reached a blaze. That's not a perfect future for me if my friend isn't there. The Observer wanted to subdue me, but in the end, he armed me with the exact weapon I needed for my rebellion. He gave me a perspective. The grand things don't matter as much as those close to me, however small something is. If it's important, it's worth saving. That is my truth. One day, when I grow up, I want to return and save everyone. I will do that. But first, I have to be free. I have to find out all those small things that are truly important to me. What I'm trying to say is, don't give up on yourself, Mr. Rat. You'll bring tragedy to 33 more life stories if you're if you're gone before they're ready. Oh boy. For a brat, you really have a way with words. Nah, they don't really need me. Half of them are teenagers already. They want their freedom. They don't want to be bossed around anymore. But that doesn't mean that... I know. Thanks. Here, try them on. He tossed my boots at me. They were darkened, but the excesses of the boot were mostly gone. The parts that shone before, they were now completely dark and matty. The rat stood up and stretched while I put on my footwear. They felt as warm and comfortable as I remembered, but also, a little weird on the soles. It was softer. I used my seal to puff the bottom lightly into rigid sponge, so you'll step more quietly over the stone. They will get ruined pretty quickly because of that, so you have to get yourself new shoes after we escape Crimson Royal Grove. I know someone who can make them cheap for you in Wiggleheim. If you say I sent you, he'll help you stay low, fed, and get on your feet. I need more ways than one. Yep. Wait, I need more ways than one? In more ways than one. Yeah. So, can you tell me your name? Not before you set me free, cheeky pup. He took a deep breath of his cigarette smoke, and I swear I saw some teeth flashing when he blew a big, white cloud right in my face. He probably thought I wouldn't notice because of the smoke, but unfortunately for him, I wouldn't forget a single detail once seen. He definitely smiled. And with a step on the floor, he made the lamp sink into the rock, along with all the other trash we created during our stay. The moment before the flame went out, I saw his back was already clean. The luminous red sting connecting us moved and pointed at the door. I followed it. Take a deep breath. Collect yourself. Blend with the shadows and become like the night itself. Just like milk turns into cheese. Sharp, yet bold. Isn't cheese sweet and creamy? Changes with age, just like people. When I grew up, I want to ferment into stinky, sharp cheese, just like you. Careful what you wish for, or it might come true. I felt a hint of cheerful fondness in his mind as he said that. My bold, daring, manly attitude was apparently winning him over. I stood by his side as he put his hand over the door handle. The point of contact pulsed across the wood and rock, as the enchantment of his shelter was just one pull away from breaking, like a bubble. Let's go. As quietly as a... As a mouse? Why are there guards all over the place? We didn't take that long. Hey, did you see that? The closet. What about it? No. Clear your mind, now. With the silencing magic of the rat's shelter gone, the commotion and clunking of armor and barking guards echoed throughout the corridors around us. 2 of them were walking towards our room. Panic rattled in the rat's mind as he dipped his fingers in the rock into the lock in the door, making it click with his magic right before one of the guards tried to pull it open. He pulled once, twice, and then knocked on the door with his gauntlet. "Oh, is anyone there?" Could just be the wind, sir. Possibly nothing at all. I considered that possibility, yes, but I think I can feel someone close. Should I fetch the key? Wait, just give me a moment. As the guard stood behind the door, I realized I couldn't feel the rat's mind anymore. He stood in silence, hidden even from my empathy. Yes, he obviously had to have mastered the art of hiding his presence from canon empathy if he wanted to pass unnoticed for his heists. If he wanted to run away, I had to do the same. I collected myself and do my best to mimic the state of mind he was enforcing on himself. As hard as it was, I forced myself not to think, not to worry. If we were just quiet enough, maybe they would leave. And, even if not, he must have a plan, right? A trump card. Like, more of that sleeping powder. There's a bunch of presences, alright. But, is it even on this floor? In response to his muttering, both my companion and I closed our minds even tighter. Through fear and necessity, I felt as I was almost melding my mind into his form. And he waited, as lifeless as the darkness itself. Sir, I don't think I sense what you do. Stay silent, unnoticed, like the cheese of the night. I can feel only 2, a canine and a... No, the other one is not even canine. A shock sobered my sense of awareness back. I heard some noise behind me. Oh no. One of the Syrian guests. And the ruckus in the corner of the room got louder as the Syrian thrashed with full strength and in the rat's bindings, his reptilian hiss muffled through the gag. Go! Fetch the key, boy. Now! Ah, woo! We have to run for it. My apologies. What? The Syrian behind us stopped thrashing. Instead, a disgusting sound of gagging reverberated in the tiny room. He swallowed the whole balled-up gag, used as a gag, before taking a deep breath of air. They're here! They want to run for it! I heard a swoosh from the rat's arm as he tossed something from under his coat. A dagger. It sank through the Komodo dragon's scales, making him choke on his words and gasp for air, before the pain hiss died down in his tensened throat. Later on, I found the blade was coated in a strong poison, but the guy pulled through. Sirens have a godlike recovery power. A suffocating moment of silence followed, quickly broken by the sound of an unsheathed sword, followed by a violent shaking of the door, as the guard body slammed it with a furious snarl. The wood broke, the bolts bent, until finally the heavy door shattered off the frame, blinding us with moonlight. Close your eyes. The powder bullet shattered against the front of the guard's helmet, this time making him yelp in pain rather than tranquilizing him. He groaned and coughed, trembling around the room and waving his arms aimlessly, and even I felt a wave of painful heat when the powder cloud reached my delicate sensitive nose. I finally closed my eyes 2 seconds too late. The pain was already settling in. My eyes watered, my nose ran, and I was completely disoriented. Suddenly, someone grabbed by my scruff and pulled forward by force, dragging my short legs over the floor. Come on, run! I stumbled and yelped in pain when my elbow hit the marble, but even then, I was immediately pulled back to my feet. Guided by my rodent captor, even blind, we dashed through the corridor. Call him, quick, before him. Call for General Gunner, Your Majesty. My heart sank as the rat slowed down for a moment. I still couldn't open my eyes. In the chaos, I wasn't able to read his mind. He didn't say anything. Chased away by the sounds of more incoming steel-clad steps, we continued to run up the stairs. Then another corridor, another group of guards, another set of stairs. I was slowly regaining my senses, but it was still fully up to the rat to guide us higher and higher. We kept climbing the castle, and even the moon itself seemed to glow brighter, like the Crimson Warden exposing us in the night. I was unable to keep up his pace, but he wouldn't slow down either, even for a second. When I collapsed and couldn't get back up, he grabbed me by my ankle and dragged me over the floor. I heard heavy metal gauntlets falling and locking into place at gates. He barricaded us behind a set of thick doors and framing, and it just kept going. Another set of stairs, another gate, another door. Then, finally, he let go of me. I blinked and rubbed my eyes, slowly clearing my vision. I heaved, completely exhausted. My heart was pounding and my lungs burned. He gasped too, standing over me. I looked at his feet, trembling over the cold rock. Then, higher, at the tip of the dagger. He held it with his two shaking hands, pointing at my face. I stared up at him in shock and confusion. His face grimaced in a mix of anger and pain. A face of betrayal. Your Majesty? I just stared at him, unable to muster even enough energy to whine. The tip of his dagger dipped into the fur at my neck. The hatred in his eye hurt even more than the blade. Out of all wolves? He grabbed my scruff and jerked my head back, pressing the length of the shining edge against my exposed neck. He huffed and tensed up, piercing me with a stare, struggling against boiling fury. An almost pain growl strained his throat and nostrils as his grip and posture hardened. His fingers, always so steady, now trembled as the blade shaved shards of white fur off my skin. He struggled with himself. Time after time, his grip on my scruff tightened and loosened again. But he wouldn't commit to the cut. Finally, he took a deep breath. His hand steadied as the blade pressed against the skin, covering my feverishly pulsating artery. It hurt, but my mind was too blank to even act. Finally, with a pain gasp and sharpened grimace on the rat's face, the clawed fingers went limp, and the blade fell from his hands, clanking over the floor by my feet. He shoved me down and stepped back, clawing at his own forehead. I touched my neck. There was some blood on it. We were on the top parts of the castle, a spacious dining hall, with stained glass windows reflecting the moonlight. The view of the city at night, so peaceful. The wide moat of water surrounding the castle, shimmering the mesmerizing visage of stars. I wish I could show it to him under different circumstances. Why? Out of all the wolves, you deserve to die the most. Fuck the oaths. Fuck honor. I should just take the knife and... I'm done for. Of course. We didn't have a minute to spare if their king was missing. Now, there's no way out for me. Didn't you wolves take enough from me already? How much more do you want to punish me? I didn't mean for it to happen. Then free me. Now. I can't. Take the dagger. What? Take the dagger. I did as he told me. I grabbed the handle of the blade and stood up as he turned away from me and stared up at the moon. The dagger handle felt big in my tiny hands. There's a short line of my blood in the middle part of the edge. We both jumped in fear when the noise of slamming and hacking reached us from a couple floors below, a few barricades and block gates away. I felt them trying to reach me with their unity. Do it. Free me. What? Put the blades to your neck and finish what I couldn't. So, you're choosing your whims over my life. You deem my life worthless if you can't control me. You're the same as all of them. Another sound of breaking wood and metal shakes the walls, drawing closer. Is there... Need to put that a bit higher. The barks of guards becoming clearer, their pleas for my connection more desperate by the minute. The rat heaved in anguish as we heard him hacking at another gate. Each time we heard an impact, I watched him jumping in fear, his eyes wide in realization of his fate. No. Oh, I can't. They won't just kill me. They will... Oh, fuck. He looked around the hall in panic, noting a jarred window of the top of the ceiling. He rushed at it, pulling me behind him by the magic thread without care. Constant waves of dread emanated from his mind as he leaped and climbed over the metal framing of one of the stained glass images, grunting every time the thread pulled him down towards me. Pulled up by him, I aided my climbing with his dagger, uncertain what his plan was exactly. However, I didn't have the strength to argue. I just followed as best I could, watching as he struggled to squeeze through the narrow gap in the open window, night wind bellowing over his face. Then he leaped outside impatiently, breaking my balance and making me fall. His leg and tail hit against the frame, making it fall down and shut, right before I could catch his tail. The magic thread was caught by the now locked, heavy steel window frame. Each of us dangled on the opposite side of the stained glass window, trapped and separated. He growled impotently, punching and kicking at the thick glass to no avail, and the mist of heated breath in the cold night spewed out anger and desperation with each breath. He heaved in exhaustion, holding onto his browned wrist, and I could see tears of anger welling in his red eye. He stared at the shimmering water far beneath him. Frustration choked his throat as the hope of escape stared back at him through that clear reflection. So close, it's still unattainable. they aren't just gonna kill me for trying to kidnap the king, you know? They'll turn me into a monster. They'll want you to forget this night even happened. How could you do that to someone? You did this to me. You pulled me into your games against my will, like a pawn, just like all the other races have been treating us for generations. No matter how hard you think you have it, at least you're in a position where you can bring real change with enough patience, work, or wits. An opportunity none of us will ever have, no matter how desperate we get or how much we sacrifice. And yet, you're just throwing it all away on a whim. I hate you. I hate you. What did I do to deserve this? What did my children do? Why can't our wishes matter for once? They will live and die the same way as me because of you and your people. Unheard. Another gate broken in the distance. Only one more left. We could hear the steps of the guards, clearly behind the final barricade. Our time was running short, and we both seemed to have given up all hope. Only grief swelled. I'm not a bad person. Yes, you are. You're a monster the moment you were reborn, and you will live long, comfortable life only to leave this world worse than it was. That's not true. It is. Every Wolf King is the same. Why would you be any different? But I don't want to be the king. That's not up to you. None of us gets to choose who we're born as. A loud slam shook the reinforced door in its frame, shaking off dust off the walls. The grass clattered. The moonlight shone on us as we dangled from two sides of the glass, separated, yet connected. I was desperate. I didn't have anyone else to turn to. When I met you, I was able to connect to you with my leash, only because I felt a shared thought I could connect to, maybe even a role model. But now it's clear to me you're the opposite of that. Cautionary tale. You're exactly who I don't want to become. Oh, yes, please. Tell me how much more virtuous you are, Wolf, as they torture me in your name. I bet I'm the first one to call out you out on your bullshit, because nobody else in this evil nation would. None in this country of predators and traitors. You're a traitor. Traitor to yourself. You betrayed your hopes, your dreams, your strength. Someone who doesn't believe in anything can claim no honor. Shut your mouth. You don't know anything about me. You used to wield an ember, but not anymore. That's because you can't lie to your heart. You once believed in freedom. You worked hard to make it a change, however small or grand. I don't know, but an honest one, right? Now, you gave up. No, I grew up. There's only so far that unfounded hopes and dreams can take you. Some things you just have to come to terms with. Fine. If you really think that, then yeah, maybe you and your family indeed are nothing but a pack of dirty, worthless rats. Maybe you don't deserve freedom. Maybe you have to be ruled. No, you want to be oppressed. You need it, so you can always have someone else to blame for your weakness, your failures, and your insignificance. Always a battle to fight. Always someone else to mark a villain, all to distract yourself from the darkness within your own selves. You really don't want change, not a true one. A true change would come from true responsibility, and you're too comfortable as victims. How dare you? You don't know what you're talking about. I do. I know I'm right. I've seen it in your mind. And I saw my future in you. Another slam against the door. A slight draft started picking up through the cracks. The dogs outside worked tirelessly to come to my rescue. I stared at the dagger, still in my hand. You, for a short time we spent together, you taught me more about life than anyone before you. You, Gunnar, Observer, everyone. You all appear good at first, but each of you hides a great darkness inside. It's like none of you enjoy life. To grow up is to face that darkness. I understood, and it drowns you. It'll probably drown me too, and then I'll become an evil wolf king, just like you say. You may be right. Maybe I'll become the worst one of them all, the evilest adult in the whole kingdom. But not yet. I'm not a monster yet. I'm a child. I deserve hope. I deserve to dream. And I deserve to be naive. To believe in a future where I'm strong and badass and kind. And I can keep all my friends safe, despite all odds. How am I to become anything but an evil wolf king if everyone already decided that for me? If I'm not allowed to choose my own path, make my own mistakes. I know I have to grow up someday. I know, but not like that. Not yet. Right now, I gasped in despair, tears rolling down my cheeks. With a wretched heart, I pressed the blade against the magic thread. A thread made of a child's hope, curiosity, and innocence. I wasn't ready to give up. I wasn't. But I'm sorry. The red's eyes shone in the moonlight, and a big cloud of white steam escaped his mouth when the thread severed and flickered out of existence. We both fell at the same time, and I lost him off my view once I hit the floor. A few seconds later, a heavy splash of cool water echoed from the moat by the foot of the castle. Between the two of us, at least he was free. Only a faintly shimmering remnant of the thread lingered around my wrist, ethereal, and at the verge of fading. A reminder of my encounter with the person who taught me about the ever-glowing darkness in all people's hearts. Your Majesty! A group of royal dogs rushed over to the broken door and approached me, weapons drawn. They sniffed all around, desperately searching for the intruder. Seeing as I was alone in the hall, Gunnar lowered his sword. By Mother Earth, and all that is good in the world, Your Majesty, what happened? What's with those clothes? Is that blood on your neck? He pointed at it with genuine dread in his voice. Immediately, he barked at someone to bring the royal veterinaries, and then he ripped off a corner of his own pristine cape to tend to my wound. Taking the steel gauntlets off, he moved closer. I stepped back. My king? Stay away. You're hurt. We have to... Stay away from me! I slashed his hand, holding onto the ranch dagger with my dear life. I watched as Gunnar stumbled back, utter shock and disbelief on his face. Slowly, he turned his hand around to look at his palm. Thick drops of blood dripped down onto the floor of marble by our feet. Everyone stared at us, frozen in silence. Gunnar just kept looking at his bladed hand, fixated at the gash I gave him. His lips trembled. He said you would do that. I didn't believe him. My king. Why? He clutched his hand into his fist and cleared his throat as the guards around stared at us. Tension and confusion in the air, suffocating. We have to go, Your Majesty. I'm not going anywhere. With all due respect, we have no choice. You are expected. No. He's waiting for you. Leave me alone. He looked at me for a moment, weighing his options. Conflict and uncertainty pained in his concerned eyes. He raised his hand and parted his lips to speak to me again, but he committed to no words. He looked down, gritting his teeth in defeat. Then he took a deep breath to compose himself. He straightened his back and let the silence linger for just a few more breaths. The familiar, uncomfortable blankness of defeat and compliance spread over his mindscape. He whistled. "Oh, General? Take 6 men and wait by the Loopy Kennel, the pub by the western exit, on the way to Wiggleheim. Near dawn time, one of you will spot a rat passing through the bushes there. Trail him. He'll lead you to the nest. The rest of you, wait downstairs. Don't dare come even close to this room, unless you feel my call. If I see anyone poking here before His Majesty and I are finished talking, heads will roll. Is this absolutely clear? Oh, General!" My heart sank as the soldiers left the hall, one after another, leading just me and General Gunner to bathe in the moonlight of the stained glass. My dread only deepened as I realized the full extent of his words. "You already knew. He told you." "Yes, I went to speak to him after I left you. I was concerned about your Majesty's behavior. I asked him to look into the future for me. Neither of us expected you to go this far. I have been fine to protect you, but this is too much. He's angry. You have to go and ask for his forgiveness, now. Otherwise, I refuse." No. Your Majesty, you have no choice. This has to stop. You have to give up. But believe me, you're not alone in this. I'm with you. I shall always be there by your side. I want to protect you. I'm your friend in this. No, you are not my friend. I have no friends here in this castle. That's not true. If you're my friend, then let me go. My king, you know I cannot. I do know that. And now, I understand. I finally understand what he meant. You're exactly like the wolves he was talking to me about. And to think I treated him the same way. Shaking his head, he reached out to me. However, I jumped back. I stepped away, keeping my eyes on the other wolf as I widened the distance between us. Widened? I can read, I swear. Oh, geez, we're a bit over time. He stared at me in silence, concerned about what was I trying to do, as I finally stood in place, holding the dagger tightly in my hands. I took a clumsy yet determined battle stance, pointing the tip of the rat's short blade at General Gunner. Finally, he understood. Still, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. This is absolutely unnecessary. If you want to bring me by force, then force it is. Take out your sword. It's not conduct befitting two protectors of the pack, the king and the general, dueling. I'm not your king. I'm no protector of your rotten kingdom. You stand no chance against me. You're a child. It's not up for you to decide. I'm nothing out of what any of you are making me out to be. Every single one of you, you're all wrong. I'm not a savior of the canines, not a tool of the observer, not a villain of everyone else. I'm just me, weak and young, yes. But I shall surrender neither my honor nor my choice to decide who I am to any of you. I stomped on the floor and shouted as intimidating battle cry as I could muster. I snarled at, showing him all of my pearly white teeth, and I felt the power of my determination swell my chest with courage. I'm a lone wolf, enemy of the Crimson Royal Grove, and the master of my own fate. Answer my blade, as I reject the name and life you forced upon me. Gunner's eyebrows furrowed, as my pathetic, high-pitched growl that pierced through the otherwise silent, spacious hall. He sighed. So be it. He unsheathed his sword, the fabled, legendary relic of the moon, the Noonlight Oath. The moment the blade touched the light of the moon, it appeared as if absorbed all color around between us. With a light stomp on the marble, he took a battle stance to mirror mine. The stained glass and the frames shook as a discharge of magic pulsated from the magic blade to incinerate patterns. Intricate patterns reflected through the marble. For those moments, I couldn't even look straight at him. I squinted my eyes, and I eventually had to look away. I stepped back, fumbling as I could still see the moonlight burrowing into my closed eyes. I am Gunnar Moondust, the leading general of the Crimson Royal Grove and protector of the Pack of All. For the sake of our kingdom, I shall put an end to your delusions. Then, it finally died off. I opened my eyes to the marble still painted on the sparks of the moonlight, but I was able to look clearly at Gunnar once again. He stared back at me in a way I had never seen before, the eyes of a hunter on the prowl. Never before would he have even dared to look at me like that. However, I knew I couldn't give up to fear. I connected to his mind. Ooh, I wonder if we should just put it here as the thing. You know? The only problem is I don't know, like, if this is going to be quite a bit longer or not. It could be. Oh, let's do it. And with the chill run down the spine, I realized he had already been fully locked onto me with his own empathy. Every feeling of mine, every moment, every brewing plan, everything I did or thought, I could vaguely feel reflected in his empathy. Indeed, I wasn't his king at that moment. I was his enemy. To be intimidated, overpowered. No, I wouldn't be scared away. I ran straight at him, holding my dagger firmly in both hands, as I aimed to deflect his sword and slash at the gaps in his armor at his legs. I could visualize it perfectly, if it could only claim the first strike. But he, without even moving from the spot, drove his metal-clad boots into my torso, long before I could reach any of his vulnerable spots. He sent me flying over the marble floor, and I skidded a long distance over its smooth surface before finally slowing down in the middle of the hall. I think that's going to be a time to call it. Again, it kind of sucks trying to do visual novels because it's like, how long is this going to be? Don't know. But yeah, I think that's a good time to call it. So please comment, because I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the others. Help it grow, and please earn a spay, new your animals. Help control the pet population. And until next time, another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Thanks and see ya.